Hello everyone, my name's Luke Renner. I'm the New Mexico yo-yo slinger. I hope you're having a great spring break. And today we're going to learn different types of yo-yo tricks. I've been performing for over 30 years, and during that time I've been all over the world and I've had the opportunity to learn from many yo-yo players. And I'm going to share some of those tricks with you today, including a few from my mentor, Dale Meyerberg, who's a national yo-yo grandmaster who's taught me lots of tricks over the years. And when I was starting out, where I learned yo-yo tricks was the library. And the library is one of my favorite places to go and perform. And yo-yo tricks are a great way to go and meet new people and put a smile on their face. So let's go ahead and start learning some tricks. So with your new Duncan Pro Yo, go ahead and blow the string out so that you have it. What you don't want to do is to ever use anything sharp in here, because if you do, it'll go ahead and cause nicks in there, and then your yo-yo will eat the string, and then you won't have a yo-yo to play with. So there's a loop on the top. Now this loop is usually too small for anybody's finger to go into. And what you really want to do is to create a slip knot. So you go ahead and take the string, and then you slide it through. And then once you slide it through, if you have a really, really big finger, or if you have a really small finger, it will tighten up on there. And your yo-yo finger is your middle finger. And some people wear it down here. I go and wear it up toward the top, right toward the middle. And that gives me more control when I do looping tricks. When you go ahead and get ready to throw the yo-yo, you want to make sure that it rolls off your finger. If it goes like this, it's not going to roll off your finger. You want to go and have it so that it actually rolls off the finger. And once I go ahead and take it, I don't want to go and play with the yo-yo like this, because I can't end up getting any speed to go and do other tricks. So what I want to do is make sure it rolls off the finger, and then go ahead and make a muscle, or at least, in my case, go ahead and try to make a muscle. And I want to go and flick it down. So I'm going to go and take it and then flick it down. And that gives you the momentum that's needed to go and create some of the different types of tricks that we're going to cover. If the string is too long, you will need to cut it. A typical string length is from the floor up to your belly button. And now you will need to tie the string and create a new slip knot. Rolling up the string. Around the index finger, rolling loosely and tighter as you start running out of string. To throw, bend the arm up and give it a flick for speed. So some of the basic yo-yo tricks, you just go ahead and get the yo-yo to go up and down, and this is called a gravity pull. And if I go ahead and keep my hand straight and throw it down, this right here is the sleeper. So I'm going to go and throw it down, not try to pull it up, and then before it loses its momentum, I'll go ahead and bring it back to my hand. So that's the sleeper. So what makes the yo-yo sleep? Let's go ahead and look at this. This right here is a lot bigger than a yo-yo, but we'll go ahead and pretend that this is the axle on the yo-yo. And this is a lot bigger than a regular yo-yo string, but let's go ahead and pretend that it's a yo-yo string. So with the yo-yo is not really tied onto the axle. It's actually a loop that's on there. And Donald Duncan was the person that came up with the idea of putting a loop on the yo-yo axle. And with that innovation, it allowed people to go ahead and create all sorts of new yo-yo tricks. That's when you could go ahead and do the sleeper, walk the dog. So right here, if I've got this loop of string on there, there's hardly any friction that will go ahead and happen on here. So this is going to cause the yo-yo to sleep, and it's just going to go ahead and spin around down at the bottom. So whenever I go ahead and do some tricks, it goes ahead and tightens up the string on there. And since the string is twisted, the yo-yo is never going to go ahead and sleep. It's just going to come back to you. So when you're practicing with the yo-yo, you want to go and make sure that your string tension is about like this, okay? So that it's not too tight, not too loose. That way you can do tricks where it sleeps, and then when you go and pull on it and act on the yo-yo by pulling on it, it goes ahead and comes back to your hand and it catches on there. And if it's too loose, you'll know because it'll never wake up. So how do you go ahead and tighten the yo-yo string tension or go and loosen it up? Let's go and take a look. One of my favorite ways of doing this is to go ahead and throw a flying saucer. But when you're first starting out, what you might do is to go and take the yo-yo and then just let it dangle down there. And if the string tension is too tight, you'll notice that it starts spinning one way. If I go and grab it and then spin it like this, it's going to go ahead and loosen it up. Okay, and if it's too loose, then you can go ahead and tighten it up this way. And that's when you're first starting out. So let me show you how I like to go ahead and tighten the tension on there. What I do is I go ahead and throw a flying saucer, and I'm from New Mexico. I've been to Roswell, and that's where they had the Roswell crash. And out near where I live in Aztec, New Mexico, which is a few miles away, they said that they had a UFO crash on there. So here's my flying saucer. I'm going to go ahead and take it and then throw it on my right hand side over away from the body, and then go ahead and do that. Okay, when I go and throw it down, it tightens up the string. And now my yo-yo won't sleep. So this way it goes and tightens the string. If I throw it off to this side, it goes and loosens the string. So if you ever see one of my shows, you'll notice that I'm always doing flying saucer, like every now and then, just to go ahead and tighten up my string or loosen up the string. Now, to learn how to do the flying saucer, what I'd recommend is that you don't even try to bring it back up to your body. When you're first trying to go and learn this trick, just go ahead and take it, make sure that the yo-yo is at kind of parallel to the floor, and then just throw it off to the side. And you'll notice that it's off and making that flying saucer pattern on there. So that's the first step on there. Then the second step is like when you go ahead and throw it, and if I go ahead and throw it this way, I'm going to go ahead and actually throw it sideways and give it some power on the throw. Take my thumb, bring it up, and then that's the flying saucer. Now, a fancier way of going ahead and rolling up the yo-yo string, you go ahead and you take it, put it in here, bring your arms together close, and then just go ahead and roll like that. And that's a fancier way. Now, the easy way to go and roll up a yo-yo string, actually this isn't easy. It took me a long time to figure this one out. I have a friend who does yo-yo tricks. His name's Dale Meyerberg, and he's a national grand master at yo-yo. And he showed me how to do this. You just take it, make sure it's unrolled. Nobody ever has a problem doing that. And you throw it up into the air and it rolls up for you. That one takes a while to go and learn. This is a silly trick. This is called monkey climbs a string. To do it, you go ahead and keep this hand still and then just bring your bottom hand down and it looks like it's climbing up the string. And all I'm doing is using a sleeper, bringing the string in, and that's monkey climbs a string, or also known as monkey climbs a tree. There is a variation. You go and bring it all the way up, bring it all the way back down, and that's the elevator. To go and see how it looks if I didn't thread the string, if I went ahead and just brought it like this, that's what's happening right there when I'm going ahead and doing the trick. I'm just moving this hand back and forth. Okay, so to walk the dog, so you swing it back behind you. And then once you go ahead and swing it forward, you want to go and bring the yo-yo down so that it goes on the ground in front of you. But in order to do that, the studio is not the right spot to go and be in. So let's go ahead and try this trick outside. Let's head out to the park. Now I'd like to go ahead and teach you how to do rock the baby. And first of all, I'm going to go ahead and start with a yo-yo that's not moving. This is a dead yo-yo on here. And you go ahead and take it, you go ahead and bring it about halfway up, then take your hand and then bring it right about here, and then pinch maybe about 2 to 3 inches down from the bottom. This hand is going to go ahead and come down, and I'm going to go ahead and rock it back and forth. Once I've gone ahead and rocked it back and forth, I'm going to dismount by going ahead and taking my throw hand, that's the hand that has the yo-yo string attached to it, and then dropping it forward, and then I'm going to go and jerk it back up into my hand. Now, you go ahead and you practice this move so that you go here, here, bring it, rock it, dismount toward the front, until you don't even have to think about it. Let me go ahead and show you off to this side. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bring it here. Come down, pinch, go ahead and rock it, then drop it off to the front, and then bring it back up. So with the yo-yo, I'm going to go and practice with a non-spinning yo-yo, have those moves down so that I don't even have to think about it. And then when I get ready to go ahead and do the actual trick, this is what it looks like. Go ahead and I throw it, I rock it, and then bring it back to the hand. Again, I go ahead and throw it, rock it, and then bring it back to the hand. Now with Rock the Baby, there's all sorts of different variations for that trick. But before we get into some of the variations, let me just show you a new trick, and this one is called the orbit launch. And for this one, I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate it again with a non-spinning yo-yo, just so that you can see what exactly is happening on there. But I'm going to go and throw a sleeper, come over here, okay, and then with my hand, I'm going to go and grab it and then jerk up on it, and it's going to go ahead and send the yo-yo back into orbit. So let me go ahead and roll up, okay, and then just a reminder on how to roll up the yo-yo. You put your finger on top, go around once, then come inside, okay, and then go real loose, about halfway up, and then go ahead and start tightening up the string. So this is the orbit launch. Go ahead and throw it, go ahead and take it. Now getting back to Rock the Baby. If I want to make this trick a little trickier, I can rock the baby on the launch pad. That's a pretty tricky trick. Here's another Rock the Baby variation. This is the world's smallest Rock the Baby. The forward pass, you want to go ahead and make sure that the yo-yo rolls off your finger. Again, it rolls off. And you go ahead and take your hand, go ahead and bring it back, and then flick it and catch it. And that's the forward pass. As soon as it goes out, you turn your palm just to go and catch it when it goes and returns. This is around the world. And for around the world, it's best to go and practice this one outside. Make sure that you have a good string on your yo-yo. Just because if you go and throw it, you hit a window, or you go and hit a ceiling light, that's always bad. I've had to go ahead and pay for replacing lights in the past. Okay, so around the world, you go and take the yo-yo and you just sleep it out there. So you go and throw your sleeper and then just bring it all the way around. If I want to, I can go ahead and sleep it and make even a smaller looking around the world, which is called a pinwheel. So what happens if I, instead of going and catching the yo-yo, I go ahead and let it go back out. And this is how you start doing the loops on there. Now, when I go ahead and throw the forward pass, I'm going to go ahead and throw it at a 1 o'clock position. So if I were looking at a clock, it would be about like this. And this is if I'm right-handed. I'll show you what I'd do if I were left-handed. So if I go ahead and take it and then throw it, then I'm just going to go ahead and let it loop on there. And just go ahead and flick it back. Now notice that my arm is staying fairly still when I'm doing the loops on here. Because if you go ahead and bring your arm back and things like that, you don't have any kind of control on there. So you want to go ahead and let your wrist go ahead and flip it back on there. Now every time I throw a right-handed loop, it goes ahead and loosens the string. Now if I were left-handed, when I go ahead and throw my forward pass on there, and you should be able to see it, but I go ahead and throw it over at an 11 o'clock position. It's an opposite angle of this one. And when I go ahead and throw it, and every time I go ahead and loop with this one, it goes and tightens up the string. And these are called lunar loops. If I wanted to, those are inside loops. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and throw a loop on the outside. And those are astro loops, or outside loops. It just depends on who you're talking with. And with this one, you go ahead and you flip it so that it's on the outside. Then the last one, if you go ahead and experiment with looping, because every time I go ahead and do an outside loop on this hand, it goes and tightens the string, loosens the string. It's the opposite of the lunar loop. So if I wanted to go ahead and keep the string tension so that it's exactly the same, I would go and throw an outside loop, an inside loop, an outside, inside, outside, and that's called a Gemini loop. And you can have a lot of fun with the looping tricks. So with loops, you can practice them with your left hand and your right hand. And this is a whirlybird. So with the breakaway, I'm going to go and take the yo-yo and throw it out and sleep the yo-yo. So it's sleeping down toward the bottom, and then I go and bring it up. And the breakaway is a great trick. It goes in and sets you up so that you can learn the trapeze. And the trapeze, you throw it, you follow it up, and you catch it on the string. Now, one of the tricks that I use to go and land the trapeze is as I'm going out there and it's doing the breakaway, I'm taking my finger and I'm slowly sliding it up and going ahead and reducing the amount of string that it needs to flip back on there. So if I go ahead and take it, now if I go ahead and try it and I don't have that little bit of string on there and I try to catch it like this, okay, that's really, really difficult on there. So you go ahead and you throw it, you slide it, and then bring it back to your hand. Okay, a double or nothing. You go ahead and you throw it and then catch it. Now I'm going to go ahead and get out of it like that. I'd like to go and show you how to do a stop and go. You go and throw a trapeze, bring it back up to your hand, This finger is going to go ahead and go downward. This one's going to go, your throw hand's going to go upward. It's sleeping again, and then I bring it back. So instead of sleeping the yo-yo, this right here has your yo-yo taking a nap. I'm going to go ahead and bring it back. It's still asleep. And that's your stop and go. The trapeze is a great trick. I can use it to do the Ferris wheel. Let me go ahead and do that one more time. Now with yo-yos, there's a lot of string tricks, and I'll show you a few of these. There is the Jamaican flag, which looks like this. And it's best to go ahead and practice these with a yo-yo that's not spinning, a dead yo-yo. This right here is a bow tie, so if you're going to a formal event, you can go ahead and wear that. So the way to go ahead and practice, you go ahead and make sure that the yo-yo is not spinning. This one is 3 fingers here. 3 fingers here, then it goes up on the top, so you could actually pinch on there if you're trying to figure out if you have the strings right. And then your pinky comes in, and then it goes in and pinches right there. Now to go ahead and create the bow tie, you go ahead and you take it and you rotate it on there, and then you have the bow tie. So to go ahead and see how it looks with a spinning yo-yo, you need to go and throw a hard sleeper. And then you have it. And then the only thing that's left is to go and bring it back to your hand. Now, I'm from New Mexico, and I live right next to the Navajo Nation. And I have I was doing a show out in Shiprock, New Mexico, and I had a yo-yo player come up to me and he said, "Let me show you a trick." And he showed me this one right here, which I've never forgotten. This right here, he said, is a rug. So other string tricks, there's Ursa Minor, which is the small star. Again, I would go and practice this with a yo-yo that's not spinning. You go ahead and you take it, you go ahead and you bring the string over your yo-yo finger, over this one. Then it goes off to the side, right there, and then you bring it back. And this is Ursa Minor, the small star. Now, after I go ahead and practice it, then I can use a spinning yo-yo. Again, over. And the string goes on the outside of the fingers. In each case. And then you have Ursa Minor. That's pretty difficult to see. So this one here is easier to see. This is Ursa Major, the big star. And you bring it back to your hand. So to do Ursa Major, you go and use stop, use the dead yo-yo. I want to go ahead and I'm going and grabbing pinky, pinky, and then kind of dropping that pinky one off and then putting it on my thumb. Let's see. Okay, so I go pinky, pinky, kind of drop that one off so it's on my thumb. Then I'm using my index finger on the left hand. My thumb actually goes back. So it goes back here, and then I come up, and that's how I get into the star. Ursa Major, for Ursa Major, I go ahead and use my pinky to start. And then I'm going to go ahead and move my thumb in there, so I don't have my pinky, have that one free. My pointer. And then my thumb comes on the inside. Go ahead and pull that back. And then my throw finger loops underneath. And that's how you go ahead and put together Ursa Major. So, go and put my thumb on there. Hook it. So the Eiffel Tower, you want to make sure that the yo-yo is a dead yo-yo. You're not moving it at all. And with this one, you want to go ahead and make an L. Come over to the string, bring that L up toward the top. Then I'm going to go ahead and move this down so that my index finger, my pointer right here, goes and points down. Then I'm going to go ahead and see this one that's the yo-yo is hanging off of. I was playing it like a guitar. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Then come down with my pinky just to hold this in place. Drop it off my thumb. And I have the Eiffel Tower. Which if you ever get a chance to go to France, doing the Eiffel Tower at the Eiffel Tower is great. So let me go ahead and try this with a yo-yo that's spinning. There's the Eiffel Tower, and then if I bring the Eiffel Tower down, that's the Y in the yo. Okay, that's the first part of the yo-yo's name. If I go ahead and do it again, that's another Y in the yo-yo. For the Eiffel Tower, you go ahead and you have an L. Go ahead and bring those two pieces together. Go ahead and have it so that it goes over your thumb. This right here twists, so I go and twist it, come in, I'm going to go and grab that string, and I'm actually going to go and bring it through, and then that's the Eiffel Tower. To go ahead and dismount, you drop it. One of my favorite tricks is spaghetti. And for spaghetti, it looks like this. To go ahead and do the trick. And you can practice this one with a yo-yo that's not moving, just if you're trying to go and get the motion on there. But I'm going to go ahead and take my index finger, go ahead and bring it here, go ahead and take my other index, or not my pointer finger, go and take pointer finger, bring it down, 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 like that. And then with my throw hand, I'm going to hold all those pieces of string on there. To go ahead and bring the yo-yo back up, all I have to do is to go and drop it once it's spinning on there, and it's going to go and come right back up because That little bit of slack on there is going to make it spin right back up. And then to go ahead and finish off the trick, act like you're eating the spaghetti and slurping it. Like that, okay? And the sound effect is what sells the trick. And that's what makes people go ahead and believe that you're actually eating spaghetti on there. And I have used that trick all over the world, and people like it. So let's take a look at it with a spinning yo-yo. You throw it, you go index in like this. Ah, that's great. So for spaghetti, you use your pointer fingers to go and catch the string. Then you pinch it with your throw hand. Let it go. Okay, I don't think I was hungry enough. Let me try it again. Go. And thank you very much. Good luck with your tricks.